Love in Dubai coming in from DJ Sava as well as Faye D and playing for you right here on 88.2 Sanyu FM. Before that, Beyonce's Grown Woman. I do have a beautiful grown woman here with me right now on Celeb Select. My guest today is Cinderella Sanyu. Cindy, I think as most people call you now.
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very good. It's
I
nice
want to know
see
where you bought your lipstick.
I'll share. I'll tell you. These are secrets. I'll tell you. I have bright pink lips today, in case you're wondering.
It's beautiful.
Thank you so much. How are you doing?
I'm good.
How's your
all right.
weekend?
Busy as usual, but
That's
it's a
you
good
are
thing.
like one of the hardest working women, I think, in music.
Thank you.
Because I follow you on Instagram, and I'm like,
Yeah.
how do you even get up the next day with some of these performances?
I know, but you know,
I mean, like thigh power, yes.
the good thing about it is that I love it.
Okay.
You know, so even when I'm tired, I'm like, it's another chance to do what I love. As soon as I get on the stage, it's like I forget everything else. So that's a bonus.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we know you as I'll call you the king
The
because
king herself.
the last time you were here, we talked
Yes.
about the award that you just won,
Yes.
and you were the king, which was so different because, of course, you know, women always talk about queening. Everyone's
Yeah.
queening. They were their slay queen,
True,
and you're
true.
like, I'm not going down that.
I
path."
didn't want to do that because everybody was doing that, you know. So I wanted to do something different. That's why I said I'm king herself. Either way, I feel like I don't hustle like most ladies, if you know what I mean. I don't hustle the same way I hustle like a man. So that way, I said I am the king herself. I'm not a queen.
Okay,
No.
so the king herself
Yes.
is here with me on Celeb Select.
Yes.
We want to know your story in your own words. So that is so exciting that you're here. Yay. Maybe you can tell us, about the little Cindy. Where were you born?
Well, I was born right here, actually, in Zambia Hospital. With, my mom is Anita Sot from Serere. My father is a Munyoro from Masindi. So I'm like a dangerous mix of the East and the West. Yeah, I'm in a family of 8 kids. We're five girls and 3 boys. I am the 4th born of the family, so I'm kind of like really in the middle. I went to so many schools, but I finished at Aga Khan High.
No, I know you've rushed past that. And she looked down as she said it. I went to so many schools.
I did.
I
did.
Were you a naughty child?
I was at first it was school fees,
Okay.
you know, at first it was that. But then with secondary, I became a really naughty child. Yes.
Okay.
And then I liked to cut my hair, and they didn't like the way I cut my hair. I'd put those lines in it. When I was a kid, we'd call them
even back
minyasa.
then? Because that's
they
like
want
really
you to
in
cut
now.
your hair, but they didn't want you to put designs in it. Yes. So I agreed to cut my hair, which I didn't like, but I was like, I'm going to do something about this, you know, and put lines in it. So sometimes I would get like, chased away from school for a couple of weeks, and my mom is like, okay, let's get another school, you know, and then
Oh my.
that's how I went to many schools. Yes.
So you did this again and again and again.
Again,
You did not
again,
learn your lesson. That's what you're saying.
I did, but it was fun. You know, as a child, you don't really think that far. You just think, Banova Nemesa, you know, you're thinking, Chiwaga to Boenga Bo. You know, I think all our teachers had lousy cuts. That's what we think as kids. We're like,
You don't
look
want
at
me to
their hair.
shine.
It's terrible. They don't want me to shine. They're jealous, you know. So as I grew, that became different. But at school, I just want to have a good time, you know. And then the good thing is that my mom always said, you can do all what you want to do, but if you bring me bad grades, I am going to whoop you so bad.
Okay.
And you knew she was serious. So much as I did all that, when it was time for my exams, I was in.
Okay.
I was in reading my books. So that way it wasn't so bad.
That's a good balance.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good balance.
It
because
had
to
to
be
be.
wild and then also you're not delivering.
It had to be. So I think even now it helps me out with my work as well. Yes, I know when to play and I know when that stops, and I'm like, okay, I need to make money out of this, you know? Yeah, so that way she put that into me, when I was a child. Yes.
Okay. So were you like like serious about school? Did you enjoy school? Did you enjoy? Because there's some people who are grown now and they're like, I just did it because I had to do it, but I hated school.
I enjoyed some subjects,
Okay.
especially the subjects when the teacher didn't hit us so much, you know.
I think we all felt that way.
I don't like being hit. So every time I was in a class where the teacher is tough, I was too nervous to learn anything because I'm thinking I'm going to fail, and then he's going to hit me. You know what I mean? So that way I would fail the subject. That contributed a lot in me not doing math and science subjects, so the teachers were really rude. And then there's literature and all that. I was like, yes, biology, yes. You know, 'cause those are the subjects that I actually did well, you know. But then the other subjects, no. Yeah.
And what about singing? Did you start like...
Oh, absolutely, yes. But in school, when we went to do the music class, I was bored from day one because they were teaching us ta, ta, te, ta. I was like, when are we singing? I went there 3 times. I was like, that's it. I'm not going back to this class
in like
again.
primary school or in...
A secondary. Yeah, because primary school, they just teach you songs, you know. They don't go into that, you know, teaching you the do-re-mis and stuff. So secondary is when they get into it. But I was bored up to the 3rd
So
class.
you like the theory of music?
I love music. I've been writing since I was 7. You know, like writing.
Wait, what?
Yeah, since I was like 7, I would write a song and take it to my mom, and she would always tell me, this is amazing. I don't know, even now when I look at the songs, because I remember them, I'm like, why did she tell me I was amazing with 2 lines? Like,
well, number one, she's your mom, so anything you do is amazing.
She would tell me, you sound like Chaka Chaka, you sound like Whitney Houston, nobody beats you, you're the best. And with just my 2 lines, so that's how I started writing music. I would just pen down my feelings, whatever I'm feeling that day, I would write it down. Even when I wanted to tell her something, like yesterday you beat me for nothing, I would write it, you beat me for nothing yesterday.
That's pretty powerful, because I mean, the way most of our parents raised us, you weren't really allowed to express yourself, like your emotions.
Well, she got like that when I was like 14 years old, because when I was a kid, she was like, this is an innocent thing. But when I started to grow and get boobs and all this stuff, and then the music started getting scared, you know, because now I started going for rehearsal and coming back late. After school is when we'd go and do choir practice at church. So then she got worried, and then she was like, she tried to bring it down, like, oh, now you need to go to school, music is not going to put food on the table, you know, and she tried to calm it down, but she had already put that in me since I was 6.
Yeah, because she'd already built up your confidence.
Exactly, it was already there, so somehow she couldn't get rid of it.
Okay.
No.
You're talking about your mom. What about your dad?
Well, my dad died when I was 2. So I kind of like don't know my dad. And then mom told me he used to play bass guitar and he used to carry me while playing. So as a child, first of all, I used to sing to connect with my father, because I felt like that's what connected us. I longed so much to have like a father figure in my life, and I never even had another dad who was nice, you know, but then that's not my father, you know what I mean? There's always that thing. So every time I sang, she would tell me, you look like your dad when you sing, I see him. So I felt like I connect with him, in that way. And every time I have like a big performance, I always still, even now, I still feel the connection. Like I feel him in the air. Like I get off the stage and I'm like, I feel like I got that connection. Because as a kid, I would pray for it. I'd be like, oh God, let me see my dad once. You know, just once. Let me just see him. And then when I sang is when I felt that connection. So it stuck.
Okay, that's pretty powerful. That is pretty powerful. So you said when you were 14, that's when were you already in church, already singing in church? I
was in church, yes, but now I was singing with the older kids, you know, not in like the kids choir. I was now in the big choir. And that's the rehearsal start from 5 to 8, you know, so that's when my mom started to worry. I remember her taking me for a pregnancy test when I was 15. I didn't know boys. I didn't, nothing. Like a boy would tell me I like you and I cry. I'm like, I don't want to get pregnant. Just by telling me, you know, that they like me. But my mom was looking at me like, oh, all these late nights I am taking you for a pregnancy test. And
I'm telling you, communication issues.
Yeah.
And you could talk to me. I just one thing, it's terrifying.
Our parents are different. They're not, they didn't go to the same schools like us. Like I go to an international school when I joined Blue 3. That's senior 5 and 6. They teach in a different way. You know, before our parents were shy. Everything they wanted to communicate.
And anything to do with sex.
Force it into you. They can't say that. They can't talk to you about...
have you ever had a conversation with your mom about sex?
Never. No, we've never... My mom has never even said, I love you. Like, that's not something, but she shows it. You know, you see it, you remember it. Sometimes it makes me cry, but she will never say that I love you. She will send it in a message, but to tell you,
Out
but
loud.
I tell that to my daughter all the time. I'm like, I want her to know I love you. God loves you. You know, like, I want her to know that. But that we didn't get from our parents was different. So sex and boys, she just slap you and you get scared, but you never know what it is. You know what I mean? Yes. So
and
we
you wouldn't
didn't
even know
have-
what you've done sometimes. You're
you
just
know,
beaten.
Yes, you're just beaten. Like, okay, maybe I just shouldn't be close to the boys, you know? And that's it. When boys come too close, you're like, hey, I don't want to be beaten by my mom. So
Okay, so I'm going to ask you for your first song right now. This one is from Spice. So Me Like It.
Yes, Spice.
So me like it. Look on me body, you me wine it.
The Sanyu Hit Selector.
It is indeed the hit selector on 88.2 Sanyu FM, and on Celeb Select with me today, I have Cindy Sanyu. So we were talking about how, like, our parents were no good when it came to talking about sex. Like you were saying, you hug a boy, you get AIDS, and you die tomorrow.
And oh Lord, that is true. They'll just smack you, and you know, oh Lord, so many times my mom just beat me for nothing. Like, okay, for a reason, she knew it. I didn't know.
You didn't have a clue.
I didn't have a clue. Like, I just have to sit and think, whatever she beat me for today, I shouldn't do it again. So I had to figure it out, because that they would never say. Anything else would be like, oh, you didn't clean up your room, or you didn't do this, you don't respect your elders. But then that, they just smack you. That's it.
But now you have a daughter.
Yes.
Aha.
That is
So when we
different.
come to that, you know, that side of having the talk, have you thought about it?
I have. There are times when I told her she shouldn't go, you know, because she's a really nice girl. She likes to approach people and say hello. She's not like me. I was a shy child. For her, she's more bold. So she does that a lot. Like, we're at a restaurant having lunch and she just goes to these people, whether it's a man or who, she's like, oh, can I show you my new video game? You know, what's your name? My name is Amani. So I had to tell her, this is not nice. You know, not all people are nice. You know, she said, she can't get it, you know, but somehow you have to explain that some
Yes.
people will do this to you. Some people might kidnap you, and then
The world is a scary place. That's
yeah, you know, it's not as pretty. We love you, us, not everybody.
Because
Just
I think,
us,
you know, we
yes.
talk about our parents being terrible. They
Yes.
refuse to even the word sex, I
Mention.
think they'll slap you. But I mean, we're going to have those conversations. On a
That
serious
is true.
note.
I remember watching Riviera, and then when the kissing scenes came on, if you were too attentive, you'd get smacked. And like, you're like it's just like you'd never understand it. Like if the kissing scenes, the older kids would get it. My elder sisters, they would look away or try to clean the house or like pretend to organize the room. But then like us, the kids would like look like what, and then suddenly you just get smacked and you're thinking, go to bed. What are you watching? I'm like, but we were watching together.
But like, you know, you said you were 8 kids. I think also for a lot of our parents, the fact that we were so many,
Yes.
it was just how else to
it
manage
was
apart from
hard. I mean, I have one child, and sometimes I want to pull out my hair. So I can only imagine, because my mom was 28 and she had all 8 of us. You know, I had my baby when I was 25. You know, but I can't imagine having 28.
What? 28?
Yeah, she was 28 with 8 children by herself. Yeah, it was like, even now I can't believe it. I look at her, I'm like, you're my hero, salute. Like,
Wow, that's crazy.
I can't believe it. Like, for 3 boys and 5 girls, and like all of us went through our education. None of us got pregnant. None of us went smoking. Like, none of those things happened. Like, I remember the first time I tried, like, with a piece of paper. I rolled it, because we see it in movies. It's cool when actors smoke, you know.
Yes.
So I got the paper and I rolled it in the evening, and my friends were like pretending to be Van Damme and all these people, you know. Oh Lord, my mom beat me so hard. When I see a woman smoke, I shake.
You know, I can share
You
that
know,
experience. I share that with you. My best friend made me roll up paper and smoke it.
Smoke it.
I coughed my lungs out, and I know that's why today I don't smoke.
Oh Lord! Now me, I was coughing while being beaten. Like, oh no, Like, I look at a cigarette and I still shake because she beat me so hard. Like, I'd never seen, like, that was like the worst whooping of my life.
Wow.
Because I rolled, you know, because she's like, smoking. I think for her, when I grew up, she's like, smoking is not for women. It's not cool. Nothing sexy about it. It's not healthy. You know, maybe the guys can do it, but women is like a no for her. So since then, I'm like,
It's interesting how so many of those things from back in the day really stay with you.
That's
They
true.
never go away.
Oh, never. Because they say you need to teach a child when they're young. They never go away from it. You cannot try and bend the tree when suddenly she's 15 and you start hitting her. It won't.
It's not going to work that way.
It's not going to work. No.
So you said like 14 is when you started, you know, going for those late night rehearsals
Yes.
with church. Well, not late
Yes.
night, but evening rehearsals.
Evening rehearsals.
And then, of course, in school, were you still singing even though you weren't in music?
Yes, I was in boarding school for my senior 1 and 2. That was Ngora High School. And I was like so active in the drama club. I was doing everything, music, dance, drama, like all of it. I would do it at school. So at school, I had more time because we're in boarding school. Mom is not there. So that way it was easier. But then when I left boarding school, then I had to leave home every day. First of all, she would pack me with work so that I don't leave. She would say, now clean the house, then wash the dishes. When you finish, arrange your sister's clothes and arrange your brother's clothes and then go and fetch water. Remember, we didn't have like water at home. You have to get 2 jerry cans and go and fetch 6 jerry cans of water. She would try and make me tired so that I don't go.
Okay.
But I would do all those things and still run
You're
out.
like, okay, I'm going to get my work done and then
Yes,
go.
and then go.
Wow.
And I'd get at the rehearsal and I'm so tired, but I'm like, I'll do it. I'm okay. Let's do this. And would still sing because I loved it.
How did you pull that off? That must have been pretty tough.
It was really tough. It was until she saw me sing, because we had this moment where we rehearsed for Crusade for 2 months. So for 2 months, I was like, and she never gave up. She would beat me up every single day for going. Like, my mom never gave up. Like, there was never a moment when she was too tired to give you a whooping. That is never there. If she's too tired, she'll at least tell you, come closer. And when she tells you, come closer, if you make her move to you, that's something. She's like, come here. I want to beat you from here. So you come closer with your own stick, because she has no time to look for it. She tells you where it is. Go to the room, this corner, then get the stick, bring it here, because I am tired. Then you lie down there and get beaten there, and then you go away. So she never got tired every single day for 2 months. And every time I would go for the rehearsal, they would ask, are your parents okay with it? I'm like, yeah, perfect.
Of course.
Of course how can they not be okay with it? You know, say I got permission, we're cool. Nobody's beating me up, because I knew if I said that, they would, say, you know what, we have to respect your parents, so you can't do this. So I never told them nothing. So until she came and watched me at the Crusade, that was my savior.
She knew you told her.
I had told her I'm rehearsing, but she didn't believe I was that serious, because she's like, you're just 15. How are you this serious about music? Like, don't you want to be a doctor? Don't you want to, like, how can you be this serious? Especially because it's church. No one is paying you. You're just you're just walking there and walking back. It's your energy and your own talent. So when she saw me at the Crusade, that was it. She stopped hitting me. She was like, you know what? I heard you and you sound amazing. So I'm just going to help you to do this, because I've realized you really, really want to do this. So she stopped hitting me. When all these competitions came, she made sure I recorded that tape, because you had to record your voice and send it. So she told me every day, where's the tape? Where's the tape? You have to.
That's like 360 degrees.
Oh, totally. Because when she watched me sing with a big choir, a live band, because you know how church does it. It's not like how we mime. A lot of people do that now. It was live music all the way, and we were singing and dancing. And she's like, "Oh my God, you're amazing!" Then she started to support me.
Okay.
Yes.
And speaking of competition,
yes,
competitions. In a way, that
yes
got you.
Yes,
here?
yes.
Yeah, tell us.
It did. My first competition was called Real Stars. It was smaller with a radio station, and then I won like the best girl, but I was 3rd place.
Okay.
So I got to do a song with Steve Jin called Time to Say Goodbye. But I had to go back to do my senior 5, because I was in senior 5 then. Steve was like, this is very important, because I was working with Steve Jin. You have to go back to school. So I went back. So Blue 3 came in senior 6. So that's when I got into the competition while going to school, by the way, at the same time. So I got in, and I was lucky. I got into Blue 3 at that time. Yes, it was a tough competition, but thank God. I don't even know how I got chosen, because there was so much talent. But at the end, they said they really wanted a team which could blend together.
blend together.
Yes,
Mhm.
because there's getting three amazing talents, but that's three egos. You know what I mean?
Yes,
like
yes,
crazy.
yes.
Yeah, so they wanted a team that could blend. So
And you
that's
all
how they
brought
put us
something
together.
completely different as well
Exactly.
to the group.
Exactly. Yes,
Blue
we were
3,
really different.
And a big part of your life as well, huh?
Yes, that's true.
We'll get back to that in just a
Okay.
bit. Your second request right now.
Yes.
These Streets from
Yes.
Tanya Stevens.
Tanya Stevens is an artist that I look up to a lot. I love her story. She has an incredible story, and her music is what speaks for her. Because if you look at her, she's not so pretty, but when she starts to sing, it's something else. She tells her story through her music. It's powerful, and I love this song. It's called "These Streets." Tanya
Okay.
Stevens.
All right, here it is.
These streets don't love you like I do. You need
Now, you talked about that competition and you got your place in Blue 3, and that's
Yes.
kind of pretty much sparked off your career.
Yes.
How was it, working with two other girls? Because they say girls can be divas. Did
Yeah,
you ever
that's-
feel that?
Well, in the beginning, yes. I was like the village kid, because that's true. I auditioned from ballet, and I'd come from like a church background totally. I'd never been to a club. I'd never drank any alcohol. I'd never, nothing at all. I didn't even know anything about boys.
Okay,
Either when
yes.
I joined Blue 3. So I'd had like a high school
Because you
boyfriend,
were like 16 at the
Yes,
time.
I was. I was now 17, at
17,
that time.
okay.
Yes. So I was just making 18. So these other girls are from the city. They're hip. Their English is different. Their accent is different. They go to the club. They know everybody. Like it was totally different for me when I joined the group.
Okay.
We were more exposed to men, to alcohol. We used to have to go to the club and all this stuff. For me, all that stuff was totally different. Even putting on like short things and all, I was like, It
You know
was
the way
so
you own it
uncomfortable.
now and you own your body
I
now?
know,
I think it's so hard for someone to imagine that.
Even for me, when I go and watch the videos before, actually something that sticks in my mind is when we went to do the video for Hitaji. I wanted to wear Jackie's clothes, like her pants and the top. I so wanted to wear those clothes. I didn't want to wear my dress because my dress was, for me, it was so short. And then every time I'd have to dance and raise my hands, it became even shorter. So I had pep talk for like an hour. They called my sister, called my mother. To that said, like, you need to talk to Cindy. We want to shoot, and she won't allow to put on the dress. I was like, I'm not.
You were
wearing that dress.
joking.
Yeah,
Because,
for real.
as someone who watched the videos, you owned it. You had all the
Oh.
attitude to go with it.
That took like an hour of pep talk. Like it's okay, it's okay. You have the nets inside. Nobody can see you.
Aw, bless.
No, how are my friends gonna look at me? My pastor, my people. Like I had those people around me who had surrounded myself with like older people and stuff, So I'm like, how is this? I felt really bad to wear that dress. I mean, later I was happy about what came out because it was so blue, not so bright, and I was like, I can deal with it. But on set with all those lights, I was like, I can't. I totally can't do this. That's why I love Blue 3 because we used to wear suits, like long pants and a jacket, and that was all right until all this edge of sexiness came in, and you have to
And it
do
came
the
in
dresses
big.
and oh Lord, that was the problem, But then when I tell anybody that right now, they're
The
like,
way you're
"No,
dressed
it's-
right now, you have a white T-shirt on and some
Yeah, no,
patterned
this
pants.
this
Is that
was
your look?
perfect. Yes, this is
You're
my normal
comfortable
look.
in that?
Yes, on a normal day, this is like comfortable. I want to be like this. On stage, it's different. It's like that is the king herself, and this is Cindy Sanyu.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. How long were you with Blue 3?
Blue 3 was 2 years.
And why did you have to leave?
I didn't leave. I wish it was that way. I could never have left Blue 3 because when I joined Blue 3, I'd never made money like that in my entire life. I remember my first check at the end of the year. Like of course, we got paid every show, but there was this bonus at that year, and we were being given 8.8 million shillings. Like, you've made this year, so you guys there's this money that I've been keeping for you. Because Steve was nice, he was good like that. Like, he would think for us because he knew we're kids. So he's like, this 8.8 I've been saving from your shows. Every show I've been removing, like, I don't know, 100,000 or so.
Wow.
So he's like, get this money. I failed to hold that money. I failed. Like, I failed to touch it. My hands were shaking. My whole body was shaking. I called my sister. I was like, come and help me get this money. I can't touch it.
Wow.
It was like it was that different. So
Did you know
Blue 3
what you were going
changed my
to
life.
do with that money? Or
I had no idea. I rushed to the bank with everybody, my sister, my brother. I was like, we're going to the bank now. I don't want to take this money home, because I was thinking I'm going to steal it. Something's going to happen, you know? So I took it straight to the bank. And this is how raw I was as, you know, with the industry at that time. So that I couldn't have left Blue 3. Blue 3 was my dream come true. My family's life changed. My mother started building because I was making more money. My sisters went to better schools because I was paying for it, you know. So there's no way I could have left Blue 3. It was so good financially for me. So we just had this holiday after 2 years of nonstop. The girls had to get dead years at university because we were just so busy.
Yes, yes.
So after that time, our very first concert, Steve was like, you guys take a holiday, you need it. Take a month and go home. I mean, go anywhere. So I saved up for a holiday in Spain. I'd always wanted to go to Spain. So I saved up and I went for the holiday. So in my mind, I'm like, 4 weeks, you know, just chill out, do nothing. I was at the sea, having a good time. My boyfriend joined me. It was just an amazing time. So they called after about a week and something. They called. They're like, we want to work. There was this show that was going on in Gulu. It had good money, you know. It was a Commonwealth or something like that was going on. So they said, we want to make this money. I'm like,
but you were in Spain.
Exactly. I'm like, I'm all the way in Spain. And to come here, I had 2 flights and a cruise of about 12 hours. So it was not like the easiest thing to book, you know. So I was like, and when I said it, I knew I was selling it to my friends. So I'm like, they'll listen. So I just said, no, it's hard for me. I actually can't come right now. You guys, let's leave this show. We'll do another one. You know, we've made so much money together for 2 years. We'll do another show. No problem. So in my mind, I'm like, you know, this is not a conflict. They should understand. So I'm chiller. And then they call me after a few days and they're like, since you refused to come, we've decided to move on without you. I was like, I was like,
Are you serious?
Yeah. They're like, we've decided to move on without you. And still, I didn't believe it was true. Still, like, I kept calling Steve Jean, like, what is happening? And Steve is like, I am so sorry. Right now, the management is changing from Phenon Records to Alibi. So I don't really have that much control. So you actually really need to talk to the girls. And the girls at that time had like shut me out totally. I couldn't communicate, no answering my calls, nothing.
Was there any other like beef on the side before that?
Nothing I was aware of. I mean, as girls, we had our little problems. You know, we had problems. I was taller. Some of them thought I was prettier. People accepted me more in the group. Sometimes we go to shows and they say, oh, the Cindy's are here, you know. And it's like,
okay,
yeah, and somehow it like rub them off in a wrong way, you know. And you know, and all those things like would happen. But I thought that happens in life. Like there's nothing I can do about my height, or like some people think I'm prettier. Like that happens, you know. And I personally thought the girls were actually beautiful women as well. Like I never sat there and thought, oh, I'm the prettiest, you know. But people had opinions. The media used to talk about me more than they ever spoke about the girls. Like the media was on me all the time. Like even when they did stuff, like when Lillian was smoking, they would say Cindy who was smoking. Now I mean, like there was this picture they had of me buying cigarettes, but I was buying them for Lillian. Like I went to the counter, got the cigarette, walked like 3 steps and gave this to Lillian.
Yes.
But the picture which was there was me buying the cigarettes. So apparently I smoke a pack of cigarettes every night. Oh, okay. So I've never smoked a cigarette in my life. So the media was really on me, and sometimes it rubbed the girls, you know, in a wrong way. But then I can't say there was nothing going on for them. There was a lot going on for them as well. You know, I would get a lot of attention from the people everywhere we went. Like there was a lot of attention on me sometimes. And they would get like, you know, but I thought it was all temporary things. I didn't think.
So you come back and you thought you'd still be able to pick up
where
like
you left even
off?
On the phone while they were like, oh, we're moving on. I'm like, nah, they can't do this. You know, it's been 2 years. It's Blue 3. I'm part of it. They can't just take me out, you know. So when I said seeing them advertising the new member, you know, and they're looking for somebody, I'm like, I'm thinking they're getting somebody for one show because we had done that before. We had used Maya in a show in Tanzania because I was so sick. Like I couldn't. Steve was like, you know what, you stay. Let's get Maya. I taught Maya the moves myself. I taught taught her all the moves. I gave her my clothes. I was like, this is what you're going to wear. This is how you perform like me. And I taught her everything. And the girls were actually not there when I trained her. They just flew with her to Tanzania. And the show was great. She was amazing. People got to realize, I was like, but it was not, not really, because she did everything really well and she didn't have to speak. So that way they didn't realize. So they had used her before. Yeah. So when I had it smile, I'm like, I thought it was the same thing. They're just going to use her while I'm not there to make that money at that time. So when I come back, it's okay for me to get back in the group. First thing when I arrived at the airport, I called Steve Jin immediately. I was like, can we have a meeting? I'm back. Let's do this. And then Steve is like, okay, that's nice. Let me call you back. So he speaks to the girls and then he calls me back. I was not even in Kampala yet. Like I was still along the way, driving back. I'm excited. I'm like, okay, let me go straight and meet these guys and we sort this out. So Steve said, the girls said, no. They said, if you come back to Blue 3, they leave. So it's either you do Blue 3 alone or you're the one who's out of the team. So I'm so sorry, this is out of my hands. That's when it dawned on me, like,
that must have been heartbreaking.
Oh, yes, it was. I cannot explain to you how, but like I still stayed in denial. I even went for the show. That is when I got to accept that this is happening, because they had to go back to studio and change my lines, and I watched them perform and I watched Maya perform and I was like, oh my God. It's like when you break up with a boyfriend and you used to go, for example, to Cayenne, and then suddenly when you're at Cayenne, and suddenly it comes with this new chick to Cayenne. And they're doing exactly the same things that you used to do together. Somehow that is how I felt, because for me they were like my elder sisters. They introduced me to the urban life, like everything that I knew they taught me. So it felt that way. I was jealous for a while. I was angry for a really long time, but after a while it just
so it kind of just forced you, actually. It did,
yes.
Pushed you over to the other side to now start doing your own thing.
It did. And in the beginning,
how long did it take
weird
for you to
I have to
readjust?
say a year. Yeah, because first I did a song called Mbikoye, which is like so out of my style, but I was trying something new. I wanted to get out of the whole Cindy Blue 3 thing. I wanted to become just Cindy. Yeah. So I did Mbikoye, I did Nawewe. But then when I did Ayocha Ayocha, yes. It was now Cindy Ayocha, no longer Cindy Blue 3. So I moved, like everybody started to refer to me that way, so it helped me too.
So that was your first step to...
Oh, yes, it was.
To and your solo career.
Yes, and dancehall has always been my style. If Blue 3 was so R&B, and I would get bored by the music, but I loved the stage performance, I loved the dance, and that way I would really enjoy myself. That's why I didn't sing a lot in Blue 3, because I just wanted to be on the stage and dance, because the music bored me. Apart from when we did Hitaji and I got to do that dance all the time, I was so excited.
Everyone was like, oh my God.
I was like, finally dancehall. I was so excited about that verse because it was in my style. So when I left and did Ayocha Ayocha, was dancehall, and I got accepted. I was like, oh, hallelujah. Because it's one thing to have a style, it's another thing for people to accept you in that style. Sometimes you have to switch it. Yes, you love dancehall, but you don't look it. People they don't see you that way, so you have to switch and do music which you're actually bored by. Yeah. So when I did dancehall that I love and people love it,
because that's a challenge. That's a huge challenge for artists.
Yes, it is.
Okay, we need to get back to that. Yes. We're going to take a break now.
She want good as think one thing pen the chat. You're turning me on, my God, you're turning me on.
Yes. Much as we love dancehall, I think, as a Ugandan doing dancehall, did you find it challenging?
At that time, dancehall was there, but it was not selling. And as an artist, you have to make money, because studio costs money, everything costs money. Yeah. So there was that challenge, like, I love dancehall, but will I make money out of it, I didn't want to go Juliana and Irene, because that's what was really selling at that time. I wanted to do something that is me. So when I did Ayocha Ayocha, it was like, for me, it was like an experiment. I loved it, but I was like, would the people love it? Because that's my heart, that's what I like. And I think I had a conversation with Juliana about it. She said she actually told me the beginning, she told me it's different how you love music and how people perceive it. That's different. People have to connect your music to you. And sometimes you love dancehall, but you don't look it. Sometimes, yes, you love the ballads and all, but you don't look like the ballads at all. So people don't connect that to you. So that way it does not translate to money ever. Okay. Yeah. So I had to think about that. So when I released the song, it was like, I had my fingers crossed, toes crossed,
Please.
everything. Like, please let this work, you know? And when the people loved it, I was like, it was like a hallelujah moment. Like, yes, now I can do this because that's what I love. Dancehall is something I can do anytime. When I'm sleepy, I'm tired. It's just my style. It's inside of me. So Ayocha Ayocha finally brought me to the industry.
Okay, you talked
Yes.
about Juliana giving you advice. And
Yes.
one of the things I've heard from very many female musicians in these interviews is sometimes you just don't get support from other women out there. Did you ever
Yes.
feel that?
Yes, it happens a lot. It really happens a lot. We as females, I don't know, people feel like if I encourage you, I'm discouraging myself. Now, I mean, they feel like if I said, oh, Crystal, you're pretty, it means I'm telling myself that I'm ugly. Now, I mean, like, I don't see how it translates, but, you know, that happens a lot in the industry because they feel like, they keep telling me, why are you giving Juliana airtime? Why are you talking about her? It's your time. It's you to, it's your interview. People are talking about you. So why do you speak about her for a moment? They take that attention from you.
Wow.
But I'm like, but she is part of me. You know what I mean? Like, somehow everybody we've gone through in life is part
It's
of
part
us.
of your story.
Exactly.
Yes.
So you shouldn't be ashamed to, like, you know, give that back to them because she was part of my journey. When Blue 3 fired me, I didn't know what to do. I spoke to her. I spoke to a lot of people. But mostly I remember Juliana, Bobby Wine, and Baby Cool. Those people gave me the energy I needed. They gave me like that push that I needed, you know. But Bobby Wine was like, just go back to basics. When you were young and you wanted to sing, did you envision yourself with 2 girls on your side? I'm like, no, I didn't. So he's like, just go back to that moment and start from there, you know. So Baby Cool told me about performance. It's like, perform. Don't get on stage and point at people because that's what all female artists do. They go and get people and just flirt with them.
And sit on them.
Exactly, sit on them and point at them. He's like, don't do that. Get something that's different. So my whole performance thing, that is, Baby Cool told me to get that. Is like, get some dancers, perform, dance. I don't care. I don't care if you sweat. It doesn't matter. You're going to bring something new. We just kept on going.
You guys were together for a long time.
10
Before
years.
you were like that celebrity couple that we saw.
We were together for 10 years.
10 years, wow.
Very good ride. It was really good.
And you have your gift of your daughter, of
Yes,
course.
a beautiful daughter.
But towards the
She's-
end, it got rocky when you guys broke up.
It did, yes. I think life changed. We grew up in 2 different human beings, you know. In the very beginning, he was like, both of us were like in the beginning of our careers. He was just starting out, I was starting out as well. The money was less, so the love was more, you know. And then you have more time for each other because you're working less. And then he started Cayenne, and Cayenne was the like the whole of Kampala was in Cayenne, you know.
Yes.
So it took all of his time, and then my career just, you know, it just started shooting like that. Like, and I was busy all the time. He was busy all the time. I mean, in the middle, we're lucky we got to put a baby there, a really beautiful baby. But we got really busy. We got really apart that we didn't recognize each other anymore. Like, all the things we knew about each other, we loved about each other, totally changed. His friends changed. My friends changed. His world changed. Mine changed. And that the connection just died, you know. It was sad, but we had to accept it. Like, okay, it's true, you know, like everything that we loved about each other has totally changed. Like, we're different human beings. We need to break up and probably meet again and be like, so who are you now? You know, like, my name is Mario Brunetti and I'm Cindy Sanyu, and, you know, and meet on a different level. So because if I use to love you because you are the 6-pack, and then suddenly you wake up and then you're this guy with this huge tummy, I need to reset my mind. And so, okay, now this is you with a huge tummy.
Let me
you
try
know?
and get around it.
Exactly. Somehow we just needed a moment to just, and that's exactly what happened. We just grew apart because we became so separate human beings. I was growing as a woman. When I met him, I was really young.
Yeah,
you know?
you were a young girl.
Yeah, I was young, and my love was young. My love was innocent. When you grow up, your love is different. You love in a more sensible way. Yes, they don't tell you jump and you ask how high. No, you say, when I jump, what is there? Will I break my legs? If I want, then I jump. But if you're not sure, don't tell me. You know what I mean? You become more careful with life. You start to think about things like marriage and stuff. Like, we can't just be here and there's no assurance for me and my child. There's nothing. If you died today, I cannot, you know, there's nothing I can access for my daughter, you know, from you. So things like that started to change. He didn't understand me more because I reasoned in a different way. I didn't understand him anymore because he still reasoned like a child.
That happens. That happens in relationships. People outgrow each other.
Yeah,
or
we
Just
we
change.
outgrew each other.
But I think
Yeah.
one of the biggest challenges also was you had that custody battle for your daughter.
Yes, we
As
did.
a mother, my God.
Oh, he didn't want to let the relationship go. Like no matter what was happening, he didn't want to.
Oh,
So the
okay.
battle for the child was not really the battle for the child because he had access to the child, but it was just to, because he was angry. That was a good way for
was
him
angry,
to
he was hurting.
express, yes, to express his anger. He's like, I'm going to take her away from you, because you're not, we need to be together for her. We have to be. But I was like, what does it profit my daughter for me to be a sad parent? You know what I mean? I'm going to put that stress onto her because that's how kids are. They're like a sponge.
Yeah,
they
they absorb the
everything.
energy you give them.
Yeah, so I said, this is going to get to her. I would rather we're both happy, we're separate, and she knows we both love her. That way, it's better for her.
One of the questions that was put forward to ask you is, are you single?
Oh Lord, can I not talk about that right now?
No, when you say you don't want to talk about it, now we automatically know there's someone. There's someone.
I
Others would be like,
oh
no.
Lord, I know. No, I'm seeing someone.
You are seeing someone.
Yes,
Is it
that is
serious?
all I am comfortable to say right now.
Is it serious?
That's the thing. I do not want to talk about that. Like,
Are you scared you'll jinx it if you talk about it?
The last relationship I had was so dramatic that
And
people
so
got to know
public.
about it before it was anywhere.
Eh.
It was like we met today, and tomorrow we're in the papers as a couple, and then his baby mom was complaining that I stole him. Like, it was all like, oh my god, I just met the guy. I just know he's called Kenny, and that is it. And suddenly the papers are like, we're a couple, we've been together, and the mother child is bitching, and all these things are happening. So it just came in the media too early, and that way it ruined it before it was anywhere.
Okay.
He was a beautiful man, but the media was all over us that we couldn't take it, both of us. He was not ready for it, neither was I.
Okay.
It just, everything was ruined. Like, every time we'd be at the club and we're not smiling for 2 seconds, suddenly we have been fighting. So it ruined, it just ruined something that could have grown into something.
So you're trying to hold
beautiful.
on to.
Yes.
But it
that's
sounds
what
like
I'm
it's
trying
early
to do.
stages if you say that.
It
so.
is early stages.
Okay,
So it's
okay.
beautiful, yes, and I want it to stay that way. When I am ready, I will talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anyone you'd like to work with this year? That's another question. Anyone you'd like to have a collabo with that you haven't yet approached?
I still want to work with Baby Cool. We've been at the studio twice.
You haven't?
Yes, we have. But then the vibe, the beat, we've never liked it.
Okay.
Every time we get to the studio, we're like, this
Okay.
beat,
Well, it will
because
happen.
he's a perfectionist, I'm a perfectionist, so it's like, it becomes a problem. So I still hold the dream. I want to work with Baby Cool. I want to work with Winnie Nwaji. I do. I think she's a beautiful artist. She has an amazing voice. I think she brings something different to the table. And me and her working together, two different brands that will complement each other.
Yeah.
That is how I see it. So I would still love to work with her.
Okay. And what are you
Yes.
working on right now?
Right now, we just shot a video for my next single called Onina. Yes, that's what we shot. This year, I want to have more music. So every 3 months, I want to release a song. So I had One by One in January, and now I have Onina coming out. The video is coming out next week. So more music.
Okay. Well, we're out of time, but one thing I can say, when someone sees you perform, like you said, you feel
I
it,
do.
because when you dance with your whole heart,
That's true, yes.
and you dig in. So are you
Every
living your
beat,
dream?
I am.
You're living your dream.
I am, yes.
Okay.
I
What's
am
your
so
advice?
grateful.
What's your advice to young girls who look up to you?
To young
Because
girls,
you seem to be very comfortable in your skin.
right now,
and-
yes. I mean, the older you get, the more comfortable you get. As a kid, you worry about stretch marks and things that you can't change. You worry about cellulite. You worry about the smallest thing, your eyebrow.
My boobs are too big. My boobs are too small. My
Yes. But the more you grow up, the more you start to accept the body that you're in. And I'm at that stage of my life. Yes, that's why I've gained a little bit of
beautiful
weight.
place.
And people think I'm pregnant, but no, I am not pregnant. No, I am just not missing any meals. So,
Do you want to
yeah,
have more
so-
kids?
yes, I do.
Okay.
I do. When I was young, I wanted to have like 6 kids. They got less. Then I want to have 4. Now I want to have 3.
We'll check in with you again in a
You
few
know,
years.
yes,
Huh?
do. So
See
for the young girls, be yourself. Love yourself the way you are. There's so much pressure with this Instagram and stuff of being perfect, and it's ruining a lot of people.
Yeah.
You don't need to look like Zari. You don't need to look like Christo. You don't. You know what I mean? Like you don't. You're just.
You need to look like you.
Exactly. Just look like you, because that we've never seen. We've seen Christo. You know what I mean? We've seen Zari. We've seen Cindy. We've not seen you Nakamate. Oh, we've not seen you Agnes. You know. So show us Agnes, because that is new. You know.
Yeah.
Just be yourself. Be your best self, but be yourself.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell us about your new single.
Yes, it's called Onina. Onina in English means you have me.
Eh.
Yes, it's a true story, and
Whoa. True story.
it is a true story.
Yeah.
Yes, it's just about being in love and enjoying the moment. Yes, that's what it's about. Yeah.
Someone's in love. Well, here it is, brand new from Cindy. Thank you so much for coming
You're
on
welcome.
the show. Oh,
Thank you,
had a great time as
Crystal.
always.
Me too.
Here it is, Onina.
Zamina, mina, eh, eh.